Welcome back to the podcast, and thank you for being here to celebrate with us today. This is our recap for season 2. We are celebrating number 22. Number 22 podcast. Yay! Shift happens. Lives on.
Yes. Welcome to the Shift Happens podcast, where we navigate the lighter side of life's challenges.
I'm Robin McIntire, a certified life and transitions coach.
And I'm Monique Eckes, the question asker here, asking questions that I'm sure you're asking on the other side of the podcast. Our plan is to give a little bit of extra insight to the last 10 episodes. Maybe some behind the scenes, maybe something we forgot to tell you,
Yes.
or extra little nuggets we've learned since then.
Yep.
Yeah.
Simply if you've missed any of the, this is a good way for you to say, oh, I want to go back. That episode sounds like it's for me. So we're hoping that you get a little bit of a teaser enough to know which episodes might be ones worth your while too.
Robin, lead the way. What was the first one?
So our first one is resistance is real and so are your goals. Mm-hmm. Now, that might sound funny. It should have been resistance is real, but so are your goals. Mm-hmm. But because of the power of the and, that's all I'll say, we said it that way.
Yes.
We could do this. Cross your arms like this.
Okay.
And pull against me.
I love it. I don't know if we'll see our hands. We'll just look like we're constipated.
Okay, so this was about normalizing behaviors like avoidance and scenarios where we know what to do, but we don't do it. So resistance is such a big reason why we don't hit our goals, why we say we're going to do something and then we beat ourselves up because we're like, why would I not do what I say I'm going to do when that's what I want? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a good episode.
It was, and we've actually talked about it quite a bit since we recorded it. The story from that was, it's been on my goal list for many, many years. And we've had a chance to talk to other people about that. We went to a business conference together. We've seen each other a few times. And that part really stuck out to me. Mm-hmm. What's been on that list for so long?
It's hard to look at.
Yeah.
Yep. But obviously there's something holding you back if it's been on the list.
Yeah.
And I wrote, here's your sign. Your same goal is on your vision board year after year.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. And we just had so many conversations. Maybe you've been thinking about it since then, or you want to go back and listen to it, because that's a little bit of an eye opener. And as soon as you're talking to people about it, they're like, they know the one.
Yes. They know the one.
We know the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this quote is by Maureen Brady. And if you're on my email list, you've probably, this came out in one of my recent emails as well. Sometimes we self-sabotage when things seem to be going smoothly. Perhaps this is a way to express our fear about whether or not it is okay for us to have a better life. Isn't that kind of hits you?
Yeah. Is it okay to have a better life?
Am I worthy? Is it going to work? Does it fit in with my people? All the things.
Oh my gosh. Because also the other thing we talked about was sometimes these are our bigger goals.
Yep.
These are our bigger, really important goals.
Yes.
Yeah.
The ones that are harder, right? They take more commitment because they're bigger.
Right.
And that more commitment is that's the hardest part.
You had said confusion is a symptom of this. Mm-hmm. Oh, can it be that you're just confused, you don't know how to move forward?
Yes.
And so I took a look at that in my business and some of the new things I'm offering, and I hired a business coach.
Good for you. Yes,
yeah.
Melissa.
Yeah.
That's so great.
Shout out to Melissa. So I just really looked at that and I thought, so this has been on my goal, but I'm confused. And we have some other episodes that kind of talk to this too, but that's what I took from that episode.
Yeah, that was a big one for me too. Confusion is, I think, this is kind of bold to say it just like this, but to get it out, it can be an excuse to not move forward. Mm-hmm. But I'm confused, but I don't know the steps, but I don't, but. Yep.
Yeah, so I decided to hire help.
Congratulations.
Right, whoop whoop.
And Melissa's the bomb to be.
For sure.
To boot.
Yes, I definitely, I got to throw this in here. I've got a dream team, right? So Robin's my life coach, and then Melissa's my business coach, and I couldn't be happier.
Well, us either, because we like being your dream team.
Episode 2.
Episode 2, we talked about chaotic urgency versus relaxed intensity. Mm-hmm.
I love it. I can't believe I took relaxed. Yes.
Discover the transformative power of channeling intense focus within a serene demeanor through the analogy of a hot air balloon. And this one we're not going to give away. You have to go watch it because Monique came up with the biggest, best visual that can help you in the moment to remember to stay calm. It was so good. I loved it. I mean, we kind of gave it away, but
I know.
she gives you some more about it.
I almost made stickers.
Stickers would be good.
I know.
And it does come down to the whole chaotic urgency versus relaxed intensity. It does come down to learning how to respond. So you're in choice as opposed to react, where you're just knee-jerk reaction and then later you might have some consequences or wish you would have done something different.
What came up for me is that relaxed intensity that brings the calm that also shows confidence. So so sometimes when I'm out doing a photo session, there's a lot of people, maybe a lot of dogs involved, and there's a lot of chaos going on. But the more that I can be calm, the more that portrays confidence and knows what I'm doing. And I mostly know that because many years ago, I was in that situation where it was a multi-generational family and we were in their home and the weather was bad, so we had to last minute move inside, and I clearly was frantic. And the clients were telling me to calm down.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was not handling that well.
When someone tells me those words, calm down.
Oh, I hate that. They didn't say it exactly like that.
but
okay. But it was like, are you okay? You know? And then I was like, okay, I got to do some self-reflection. This was a decade ago now.
Yeah.
But I always remember that
Such
moment.
a good lesson.
And when I'm working with people, they're often like, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going on. They have a lot of uncertainty. But the calmer I can be in that situation, the more they can borrow my confidence and calmness.
That's so great. Yeah. And it keeps you clear. It's a clarity thing. For sure, which does go with confidence very well. 2 other podcasts we did, and I think they're in the season. They're about they're in season 1, slowing down to go fast.
Yes.
And the power of the pause. Those are both season 1, but those were the same type of thing. We're talking about a calm energy that we become a person who shows up this way. You can be certain of one thing, that you can handle it.
Yes.
That's what it really boils down to.
Yes.
When you know that, then you can trust yourself in the moment. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I trust that I'll figure it out in the moment. And that is the other thing that we can't do if we're frantic.
Yeah.
So the other thing I want to say real quick in this episode, when we were talking about belly breathing, and I was taking you and the audience through a belly breath, I was saying when you inhale, your navel's going against your spine. And when you exhale, you're filling your belly. And it's the total opposite.
Okay.
I thought, oh my gosh, I've taught this for years. I didn't mean to say it like that. So that's really important if you do catch that. We want our belly to fill up with air on the inhale, less shoulders and chest movement, and more belly breath.
Okay.
So that's a very calming thing you can do, but just side note.
Okay. Okay, good to know.
I'm so glad I could throw that in.
Oof, yeah.
It was bothering me. Wow.
I know. Yeah.
This is not cool.
All right. On to 3. The third
Episode 3. This was one of my favorite episodes.
Okay.
Saying no with love. And we've gotten some good feedback on this.
We have.
Yeah. It's been fun.
You know, with love, should we do a little heart hands?
Do I do a good heart?
Sure, why not?
Is that a heart?
Yeah.
Okay. No. I've been able to say to clients, hey, I'm going to send you a link, at certain times if it's fitting for what they're going through. So this was one of my favorites. It's perfect for anyone who finds themselves overcommitted or struggling with personal boundaries in relationships. It's just so much easier than we make it to be able to say no, honor what we want, and to even go one level deeper, it's about knowing what you want. And when you're a yes person, sometimes we don't even know. This was me. I'm talking from experience. Don't even know what you want because we're so used to accommodating other people. Can be a big problem, and the biggest thing is it builds resentment.
True.
Yeah.
Right?
That's my biggest thing about that.
We give a lot of practical tips on how to phrase that.
Yes.
Have it land softly and nicely and kindly.
Yes, with love.
But the other day I was like, you know what? I love the sentence no.
It's complete by itself.
Yeah, I love that sentence. No, period. But
with love.
I know,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So this is with love. So we give some better practical advice. That's me being blunt.
But it's a point. It's a great point.
Yeah.
No is a complete sentence. You decide who you want to explain it to and who you don't.
And okay, so I don't know if I told you the story. I had a chance to use this recently.
Okay. Let's
Okay.
hear it.
So on my photography YouTube channel, somebody had reached out to me and said, "Hey, can I send you a piece of equipment for you to review and use in your studio?" There was no commitment beyond that. So it was kind of a sponsored post for this video. And so it took a while to get to me, and I finally did the video, and I really like this piece of equipment. I'm like, oh, hey, but I'm using it in a different way than they tell it. But anyway, so I do this whole video, and I say, okay, it's done. And then they reached out and said, oh, good. So can you take some pictures of it? Can we get the raw video recording? And I'm like, no.
No.
No, I said, you're welcome to share the link to the video, or I can send you a proposal if you'd like to purchase it.
Wow.
And I actually don't have time to take the pictures, but I really appreciate you sending this to me.
Wow.
Yeah, where past me, a few years ago me, would have been like scrambling before my trip.
Great.
So if you've taken on a project and then you or your client, whoever, whatever side you're on, keeps adding to it.
Oh.
Right? So like when we remodeled our bathroom, but also we want this tile and also this, and it's just way outside the original invoice and quote. You know, so that could happen with everything.
Yes. That's so
Scope
true.
creep on everything.
I've
It
never
happens.
heard scope creep. Is that what you said?
Scope creep.
Okay.
So when you've agreed it on one thing, and then things keep adding in.
Okay.
So my video production clients, right? Oh, but can we have another revision? Can we make a social media video out of this? Can we do this? Can we do this? That was not within the scope of what we agreed on.
Right.
So don't allow that.
Right. Well, and the other thing that's really good about what that just brought up for me, even though it's a little off topic, is if you don't ask, you get no. You know,
That's
you
true.
don't have any chance of getting what you want. So the ask is good, but knowing that people are going to ask, you have to be ready to say no if it's not a fit.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Good for you. Congratulations.
Thanks.
So again, the calmer energy,
Yes.
the permission you give yourself to say no comes from being confident that you know what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, episode 4. Your why should make you cry.
I'm very good at pouting.
A why, I don't know, like,
Oh yeah. Like, okay, I like it.
good enough. We've had a lot of watchers on this one.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And the biggest takeaway, this is having a strong reason, because we have resistance when we have a big goal. We talked about it just a few minutes ago. When the bigger the goal, the more commitment is needed. And so if you don't have a really strong reason, and this is, again, exaggerated but not, if you can't feel it in your body when you go there,
Yeah.
then it's just sometimes your resistance, well, many times your resistance is going to win.
Yeah.
Because your reasons aren't big enough. And that can be a positive for people too when they actually understand. They're beating themselves up that they haven't lost. I'm going to use lose weight because that's come up so much. I haven't lost the weight. I haven't lost the weight. But when we do some digging, their reasons are too surfacey.
Gotcha.
They're not going down deep. And we were talking before the show about mobility in our body and being stronger in our body. And those are some deeper reasons than fitting in the bikini for the vacation. And you can tune into that episode because we did a simple little dig with Monique, spur of the moment, and you can see how real it really is when you hit your why.
Yeah, we both teared up. Yeah, that's so powerful.
Yeah, we can't fake that stuff.
No,
It's not good.
I'm not an actor. And also, what I was realizing when I walked back through, because I watched back through
me
these
too.
for
What did
this,
you learn?
Yes. When I had been crafting one of my whys at some point in the last few years, I was talking to my daughter, who was in her 20s at the time, and she's like, "Well, why do you even need a why? I don't understand this. Like, she doesn't own a business." And so for me, I was working on things in my business and of course now in my life too. And she doesn't have either of those. She's in the thick of being 20-something, families, kids, careers.
Monique, I'm glad you're bringing this up.
Right? And so I had to pause for a second and go, okay, I do need this outside my business. It's important to have, like for me at the time, I was looking at an overarching why of my myself and my life.
What does it mean?
You know?
Why am I?
And I said, it just reminds me of what I want to do and not do. So when an opportunity comes along that doesn't fit with my why, I can say no with love. I can be on the lookout for things that are part of my why. It's a North Star.
It is.
Kind of for me.
Like our values.
Yeah,
It's right in there with your, well, it's weaved in pretty good to your values,
Yes,
for sure.
exactly. Yeah. So it was really interesting to explain to her why even have a why.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I thought
Clarity,
of.
like you said, you know what to say yes to, what to say no to.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we're wishy-washy, and I have had a lot of that in my life. I really have. And part of it's like you said, I don't know what podcast, where there's so many things you want. It was the perfection one, where there's so many things we want to do, right? We want to reach, we want to do all of this. And then to bring ourselves back to, oh, but wait a minute, does that fit? Mm-hmm. Or does that fit right now? Does that fit into my values? But it helps you with your clarity of where you're going. And because there's only 24 hours a day. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's a great point. I love that because it really does. It's your North Star.
Yeah.
That rounds it up nice.
Yeah. All right. Episode 5.
Episode 5, the power of the and. Mm-hmm. So it's not all
Or nothing.
or nothing. All or nothing. One of my favorite things to keep in mind, it's in the forefront all of the time. This is where we try to say and instead of but. Whenever possible. It doesn't pertain to a lot of things. It doesn't pertain to everything. But this phrase in this episode encourages curiosity. And what it does is it takes us out of limited beliefs and just a limited, like a linear way of thinking to opening up possibilities where we think we've tried everything. And also the all or nothing thinking, instead of black and white, looking into some gray areas. So the power of the and is, I feel good and I'm excited to feel better.
Oh, yes.
I've lost weight and I'm excited to lose more till I hit my goal, whatever that looks like.
Yeah. Okay. What came up for me, of course, is improv. Improv is all about the and. Yes, and. Yes, and. Yes,
You're good
and.
at improv.
Oh, thank you. I have taken 2 classes on improv, like multiple classes, and it's pretty powerful, the power of the and. There's been whole books about it. I think more people need to know about the power of the and.
I think so,
really do. Because I think it adds in that connection, you know?
Say more.
So one of the reasons why they say yes and in improv so much is because it doesn't shut the other person down.
Okay.
So and same thing for yourself, right?
Yeah.
So if you're doing a skit, right, and I'm like, okay, and then the squirrel decided he had to climb up the apple tree, and if you were the actor with me and you said, but he didn't want to get an apple, so he left. Oh, you just shut me down.
Okay.
So it would be like, so the squirrel climbs up the tree, and you'd be like, yes, and when he got up there,
Okay.
see how that has that connection and
yes, I
completes
love that.
keeps the story going?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, so keeps the story going, keeps the possibilities open,
Keeps a connection.
keeps the connection of
Yeah.
same thing in a different way. I love it.
Yes, yeah, so you can
Okay.
play that out in your own head
Yeah.
too. If you're saying, yeah, but, what if you said yes and?
Yeah, the yeah buts, that's your first sign right there.
Oh,
Yeah, but, yeah, but, yeah, but. And that is, we're arguing for our limitations when we do that.
yeah. All right, so episode 6.
Episode 6 is waiting for permission.
Oof. Yeah.
Waiting for permission.
Like asking the teacher.
Yeah. Waiting.
Phone a friend.
This is trusting your gut. This is trusting that you may or may not know, but you're going to go with it. You're not always looking for the answer outside of yourself. It's a practice, and we look for evidence why you are the expert of you. And most of us, it's really easy until we get to a place, whether it's in our business, in our life, as a parent, any of it is, it takes us a while to stop looking around for answers from other people. This could be about FOPO, fear of other people's opinions, right? So let's say I want to make a big change in my life because I don't like my lifestyle, and it feels really big, but I'm thinking, oh my goodness, this is how me and my family and I have been doing our lifestyle this way, and this is how my friends and I interact. How is this going to be okay without their permission? And it's subconscious, and it wouldn't be like literally asking, "Hey, Monique, is it okay with you if I change my lifestyle? I want to get healthy." It's not about asking permission like that, but it's catching yourself holding back because of thinking either someone's going to come do it for you, or, and that's not as much as the ask for permission, remembering that you have the power.
Yeah. But honestly, Robin, I have said that, literally ask for permission. Like you're saying, well, maybe you don't. Maybe we do.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, because this was a big one for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And intuition was one of the big reasons I came to you for coaching in the first place. And that asking for permission piece, like that's always been a struggle for me. Always. My photography YouTube channel, I was struggling with it. I felt like I didn't have the capacity. I was having that frenetic energy. Like, oh my gosh, I have other things I really want to be working on right now. And so I took a pause on that, and I labored over that decision so much. I kept hoping someone else would answer it for me. Give me permission to do what I needed to do.
This is really fresh too.
Yes, it is.
Fresh.
Very
like a couple
fresh.
weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because I've been doing weekly YouTube videos for 5 years, and I have a team of people to help me. And so I had to tell these team of people that we're taking an extended, if not permanent, break.
Yeah.
And
was hard.
that felt terrible.
Yeah.
But I had to just go, I have to give myself permission to do this, and I'm strong enough to do it, and I can do it.
Did you hear that, everybody? That is so good.
Yeah, it was hard. But I just was realizing I was putting it off because I was
hoping it would get solved.
Yeah, and looking for permission somewhere else.
So talk about the relief on the other side of that. Once you decided, because indecision is so much of this. We can stay in indecision for so long, and again, it's subconscious when we're waiting for permission, but you could feel the stuck part, right?
Oh, yeah. It's like the
being
sitting on the
torn.
fence episode, right? So sitting on the fence, and I'd done that for years. At least this whole entire year.
Yeah.
At least this whole entire year, I had been on the fence about it. Like, ooh, I think I need to back off what I'm doing. I really want to put my effort towards this thing over here. I love my channel. I love the people working on it.
And your audience. I mean,
And
like,
my
you really-
audience,
you
oh my
really enjoy
gosh.
doing it for them.
Everything about it. Love it,
Yeah.
love it, love it. Had to take a break from it. Had to.
Yeah.
And just for my own like physical health.
Yeah.
Had to. And it was not fun to make that decision, but giving myself permission to do that,
How empowering.
very, very like, oh wow, I did that. The world's still going.
Yeah. That's the best
Everything's
part.
still going.
Yes.
I have this capacity, and now I can like slowly think about how I want to redo that or get back into it. Whatever that looks like, if I do, reimagine it, because saying no opens up for yeses. So now I'm like, okay, I have the time to do all this. I'm not stressed out about something, and it's been good. It's been good.
Did you hear the big sigh? I love it.
Yeah.
Monique, that is big. That's a really big thing, because that was about other people, not just your audience, but it was also about the people that work for you and that you felt a little responsible for and that you appreciate. And and you finally, where your rubber met the road was, okay, this is about my business and about my life and about my well-being, and that I can serve everybody else better if I look at that first.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a really good move.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really good.
So that's my takeaway from Waiting for Permission episode.
Yes.
Episode 7.
Ooh, episode 7. This was a good one. Are You Losing Momentum is the title of episode 7. Yeah, that was good.
That's probably a good one. I like that one a lot.
It is not just about losing steam or excitement or motivation, but about the energy that comes from negative thought loops. So we can be thinking about, we're just making something way bigger than it is. We're jumping to conclusions. Some examples: there's not enough time, I'll never be able to do this, etc. Right? So also normalizing and addressing distractions that come from life. So truly, we're human beings. We have family, we have people we love, we have friends that need us. So there's all those things come in as regular distractions, and we don't want to make those people like wrong if they need something, but that's a real life thing. But the momentum, what we're talking about mostly in that episode is the things that can happen to us mentally when we get in a spin.
Yeah, I was thinking about momentum recently because I'm working on a project that's coming. I have to finish it here soon, right? And there was a lot of writing, and I suddenly remembered, oh, I have a lot of writing to do. And I had kind of lost momentum on the whole project, so I kind of picked it back up. You'll need to really go back and watch the Momentum podcast.
Yes.
But part of what was stopping me was thinking I had to do it all at once. All this
All or
writing.
nothing.
Yeah, all this. Yeah. And I thought, you know what? I was talking to my daughter, and she had something she needed to study for. I said, well, I'd like to sit down for an hour, hour and a half and work on this.
Do a little co-working.
So we did.
Long distance, right?
Yes, she was somewhere else. So we were over Zoom. We both kept our cameras and our microphones on.
Nice.
And we just said, okay, this is what I'm working on. This is what I'm working on. Okay. And you know, I'm always actually worried about getting out of momentum.
Right.
And then how do I restart it? So it was great. I got so much done in that concentrated hour and a half.
That's nice.
We removed our distractions, you know. But then also the next day, I was like, I have this one thing that's only going to take me half an hour. So go ahead and do the half an hour. So I wasn't saying like, oh, I have to put 2 hours to this. Oh, I can do this for half an hour. So I'm trying to figure out how to keep momentum and get back into momentum.
Well, even you catching the thought of, oh, I have to have all this time. It's going to take all or nothing thing. You pulled it back pretty quickly and you went into solution.
Yeah.
Hey, how could this be fun? I'm going to call Amber and ask her if she wants to co-work with me.
Yeah.
So you completely, I mean, your brain went in a totally different direction because you were like, how can I solve this? How can it be more fun instead of, oh no. So that's what we normally do.
Yeah, so noticing that and having a word to put to it
Yep.
and some other tools in place, like, oh, hey, okay, wasn't so heavy.
Yeah.
Right?
We're keeping it light. So just examples, oh no, there's not enough time. I won't be able to do this. Letting the past come in every time I do it. Just this happens every time.
Oh.
Catastrophizing. It's a hard word, but it's such a good word.
We got
I mean, we don't want to do it, but it's a good thing to be aware of.
Okay.
And the one thing I did write too is when you become good at being your own observer, you're staying ahead of it. So you caught that. You're like, oh wow. It reminds me of almost panicked. Like, oh, but it's going to take 2 hours. I don't have 2 hours. And it's just that in that minute, your body's starting to gear up for all the stress. You're just catching it in the moment and going, wait, how can this be fun? Whatever.
Well, and I was also, then you just said it, shutting down some of the talk of like, I do this every time.
Yeah.
Right? I never give myself enough time. Oh, da-da-da-da-da.
Right.
Shut it down, move forward.
Yeah, because it's that, there goes your energy, there goes your momentum, there goes all of it. So, and we've got some fun problem-solving things in that episode.
Oh yeah,
so
go
that was
back
a
and
good
watch
one.
that. Alrighty, episode 8.
Episode 8 was fun. And our editor, Katie in Sweden. Katie, you'll just have to see it on YouTube if you want to be playful with it. It's Drama Buster.
And can you believe?
Oh my God.
It's kind of judgy, isn't it? Ooh, I didn't even think to put that in there.
Never mind, Katie.
Yeah, oh, that's a different episode. Judginess.
That's...
That was me, Saturday.
Remind us, Katie, to put judginess on the list.
Oh. Drama Buster.
Yeah. You can do that. Ready? Go. Oh, I meant Buster.
Oh, Buster! Yeah.
Okay. Let's see how that goes.
I think that's right.
So we were talking about how can we keep the drama down in our life, right? And there's so many benefits of that because when we're in drama, frenetic energy, when we are catastrophizing, I think that's
You
right.
said it
Did
right
I say
there.
it good that
Yeah,
time?
oh my gosh. Whoop, whoop.
But when we do stay calm, take the pause, slow down to go fast, all the things we talk about that keep us in a more calm energy, we are showing up to everything with less drama. Because, and that and self-awareness of, oh my gosh, this is, my body's gearing up for whatever this is. So we did a lot of fun stuff in the Drama Buster episode. It's just fun. You got to go see it.
Yeah.
It's playful, but it's a good point, right? We've all used the word drama queen.
Oh
Either
my
we're
gosh.
being her or we have
Yeah.
somebody we love that's being her and we get pulled in even when we don't want to. So that episode, we shared in that episode learning how to think about being the calm in the storm. Right?
Like how many people say, I'm not the drama. or I don't do drama, or I'm not
Yeah.
involved in drama. But I mean, it's kind of a natural tendency,
Yeah.
right?
I do think that helps though, because I have really said to myself, I don't want to be about drama.
Yes.
Doesn't mean, like
That
you
is
said,
good.
that it doesn't appear or there's not moments. And in that episode, what I love that you pointed out too is sometimes they can just appear as high stress moments. So it's not really a judgment about drama. You are pointing out that, okay, there is stuff that happens that feels very dramatic. So it's, again, how we respond.
One of the things I did want to talk about was, because I also, I steer clear of drama. I don't even watch, the reality TV shows.
Yeah.
I'm like, ugh, it's an audible eye roll. Okay. But for me, I was having just very recently, and we had a coaching session over this, just starting to get irritated with people, just irritated. And we're going to talk more about this, but some of the energy level work that we work on, and I know this is going to sound like out of the blue, but it was something we were working on, and was pointed out to me that even though I'd like to be kind of in this arena when I'm out in the world,
energetically,
this is kind of where I want to be. I want to be this person, right? Sometimes when I'm in stress, I revert back to other ways.
Lower levels of energy.
As I was feeling all this irritation with circumstances and people around me, actually my husband pointed out, oh, well, you're responding to stress out of this type of energy. And I was like, oh, yeah.
So good.
And that was a whole drama piece for me. I was the drama.
So he was pointing out to you that your levels of energy had dropped.
Yes.
Because of your stress level. And then you realized it.
Yeah, because I was like,
feel?
This isn't how I want to be, and I don't want to feel this way all the time. I don't want to be in that energy. When he pointed that out, I was like, oh, right. And again, we talk about choices.
Yeah.
So I was choosing that, and we did a whole work through on that, and we'll have upcoming podcasts on working with that. But that's what a new thing that has come up since we recorded that drama episode.
Yeah, it's so good. And the other thing that we talked to, and this will come up later too, is the judgment that we make on ourselves when we are not feeling like we want to feel. We start judging our judgment. We're judging other people. We're being in this prickly energy, and then we feel bad because we're being that way.
Oh my gosh, raising my hand right now. I'm just raising my hand. Yep. Oh my gosh.
Speaking from,
we are going to go into that a lot more.
Yeah. So we did talk, just vaguely in that episode of Drama Buster about an ELI, an energy assessment index that I can do that touches on the 7 levels of energy. And you've done it, and it's really interesting to play with the different levels. And it's all about choice, like you said. It's once we're aware of the levels and aware of the drama and how we show up, then you can have more choice.
Yeah, and I'm always learning more and more about that.
Yeah.
So
you're so open and fun. Makes my job so fun.
I'm a curious person.
You are curious. It's such a key though, because it does keep you in more light energy, more lightness. You're not as fast to. Yes, you find yourself in judgment every once in a while about yourself, but you stay on the outer edges of that, and you're more curious about what you're doing and not doing than you are critical.
Well, maybe that's why that hit me so heavily.
Probably.
I'm not usually like this.
Yeah.
Boom.
I'm this perky person over here that people can count on to be. I've been there.
Yeah.
I agree with. That's a tough one.
Yeah. We'll talk about more of that in later episodes.
Yes. Hoping versus trying. We still got this. Okay, I'm hoping.
Oh, I'm trying. I wish I had a hammer. I'm determined.
Yeah, I'm determined. And I'm still just praying.
Yeah.
This episode, you talk about this episode.
Okay, yes.
Okay.
So this episode was one of the things I've been working on with Robin, and I had a goal in mind for weight loss, and I realized one day, the reason it wasn't working for me in that moment was I was just hoping it would happen. Very
Anybody?
passive. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just hope this will happen. And one day I'm like, wait, I'm not really trying very hard, and when I realize that, then that's when I can really kick in and go, oh, okay, now what? What do I need to do
taking ownership,
now?
saying,
Take
I
ownership,
guess I've been wishful.
Figure out the tools, work with you some more on that. So that's where that episode came from, was me just having this realization, like, I'm just hoping for this. It's like anything else. I hope my business is successful this year.
Yes.
No, I'm going to make the plan to make it happen.
Yes. Check in if you're listening, check in, or watching, check in with yourself. What am I hoping and wishing for that maybe I've believed is a really strong goal for me, but a lot of time has gone by? A lot of time has gone by and not much has happened. Again, no judgment. We're human. It's just a thing that we do. But when you're aware of this, because if we're and then we went into if you're trying, that does mean you're doing something.
Yes, that's the note I had too.
If you're actually trying, is it?
Yes.
So if you're actually trying, then you're working towards it some. There's another level we all know, right, where commitment comes in there. And then we also talk about a quote from Yoda that I'm not going to tell you. If you don't know, you can go watch, but you probably know by just that giveaway.
Yeah.
A Yoda quote. I'm not even a Star Wars fan.
But everyone knows that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
You probably know what's coming. Here's your sign. Okay. If you are hoping versus trying, if you're in that dilemma, if it's not on your calendar and it's not scheduled, you're probably hoping and wishing. If there's not something tangible that tells you you're serious, that's a good sign.
Yep. Agreed. Agreed. Yeah. That's interesting because it makes me think of one of our earlier podcasts. I had talked about wanting to read more.
Yes.
But if I was someone who wanted to read more and I had no stack of books, I never spent money on books.
Yeah.
I
didn't have any free time to read books.
Then I guess it's not that important.
Yeah.
Or is it? That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, it's a really, and that came in big for me. It's like if it's not on my schedule, I had to get real. That was one of my biggies that came up going, okay, is it in your schedule? I mean, that's a clear yes or no answer.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
Kind of like the email I just sent out yesterday.
Yeah.
I'll just share. Okay, it's about a burning question. It's if you want to put a fire under your butt, so any goal you have that you've had for a long time, and you haven't reached it or made some progress, there's one question you can ask yourself. Am I going to do it or not?
Oh.
Rubber meets the road.
Yes or no?
Those are the kind of things that I've had coaches say to me that have made a huge difference. Because there's no yeah buts. You're not going to explain anything. It's just give me a yes or a no.
Oh my gosh.
And if you don't have clarity or you don't know how to do something, that's not what the question is. It's are you going to do it or not?
Oh. So if you answer I hope so, then you're not.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, I had someone yesterday in a coaching call say, well, we talked about what's happening next week. Well, probably, and I let them finish, and then I said, I think, did you just say probably? Because I just wanted to check in. And it was a quick, I guess I did. So again, human nature, it's what we do. So we're looking at the word commitment here. Yeah, so nice. Hoping versus trying is only, is there a true commitment? Is it on your calendar?
Yep.
Our last episode of season 2, we had been promising this for so long. We finally said, let's talk about perfection.
Yes.
Right? So perfection can be sneaky is the title of our last podcast of the season.
I feel like I can go to mime school now. I only move or do a robot dance. Just, okay. The joke at my house already is I only dance with my head and shoulders. Because it's in the car when I listen to music.
I tease Mark about that too. The chicken head.
Yeah. It's car dancing. Anyway.
As we were saying, there's so many conversations around perfection. I have shared over the years my experiences growing up as a perfectionist, a therapy aha for me about trying to be perfect, trying to control everybody and everything around you and how that is not fair to yourself or others. We've just talked about on a lot of different levels. And so episode 10, I brought in a great book.
Oh, yeah.
That has just blew my mind. So I'll back up just a little bit. Going into perfectionism, into therapy years ago and coming out as a recovering perfectionist and being really proud of that. So I've been wearing that badge for a while. I'm a recovering perfectionist. And I still do love excellence over perfection, just because I think excellence can stand on its own, but long story. But I still was making myself and others who are perfectionistic, there's a way, you make yourself wrong when you're recovering from this thing, right? So this book that I mentioned by Catherine Morgan Schaffler or Schaeffler, I'm not sure, The Perfectionist's Guide to Losing Control. Excellent book. We talk about the 5 types of perfectionists in the book. And what was the word we had such a hard time with, along with perfectionists?
Procrastinate.
That's it.
There was another one, yeah.
Yeah, we kept interchanging that word, but they go together pretty well. So that was a really fun episode, and that perfectionists might not know they're perfectionists. No matter what 5 of the 5 types you are, you might not be aware of it.
Oh my gosh, okay. But my takeaway, because I don't consider myself really a perfectionist, but that dove into a lot of different ways that we can see it.
Yeah.
But the one most impactful that I was like, goosebumps, worthiness.
Yeah.
I'm getting goosebumps again.
I love
no.
There's your sign.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean, the worthiness, if I'm not perfect, I don't deserve love. If it's not perfect, I'm not good enough.
Don't deserve success.
Yeah.
Don't deserve to be able to, like for me, it's teaching.
Yeah.
Oh, I really love teaching, but am I worthy enough to teach that?
And I go through that too. Like, who am I to do this?
Gosh.
And if it's not perfect, I can't launch it. So.
But to side by side tie together perfectionism and worthiness was a huge eye opener for me.
Yeah.
It's
so fun. You get to see it live where Monique's little brain goes,
wow, yes. Yeah. Because we do outline all these episodes, but not scripted to the word.
Yeah,
and
not at
so
all.
we add in other stories beyond our outline, and that was just very impactful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So these podcasts, as we're doing them, we have the same. Yeah. We have some things come up that we didn't expect either.
Oh yeah. So many insights.
Yeah, so fun. We are talking in that episode, which is where it came from the book. I got to give all credit there. Is adaptive versus maladaptive perfectionism.
Okay.
Right. So healthy versus unhealthy / problematic. Just is it serving you or not? And I'm going to leave it at that. So you might go watch the episode.
Yeah. Well, this has been awesome.
It's been fun. Fun wrap up.
Oh my gosh.
And thank you for being with us. We are having so much fun doing this. We've gotten some great feedback. We would love, 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 and appreciate for you to definitely subscribe if you haven't. If you're getting value and you will leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe and click on notifications if you're watching us on YouTube. We're just having fun and we're just getting started.
Oh my gosh. So, it does feel like we're just getting started.
I know, and this is still episode 22.
Oh my gosh.
That's kind of fun.
There's a lot to dive into. We're complex people, but we're trying to make it lighter. Yeah, yes. Which I really appreciate. So this has just been a blast.
For me too.
Yeah. And so I want to just say too, we do have so much more. We didn't take a sponsor break during this, but just so you know, there are links for you down in the show notes and the description.
There's several freebies.
There's some great tools for you there. There is a link to her Spark Session Plus. So definitely check that out if any of this resonates with you. Clearly, you have to go back and listen to the whole episode. But we're on your favorite podcast app and YouTube and the website. Yeah. So, wow.
And on my website too, just so you know, it's easiest to go there first if you're not a regular on any of these platforms. So if you just go to my robinmcintire.com, ROBINMCINTIRE, click on podcasts, and when you open that page up, there's clickable links right there for YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and I think it's Amazon something. And
that's right.
Yeah, so it's all there really easy to click on, and then once you're inside there, then you can subscribe and have the links.
Right?
Yeah.
And I don't think we ever mentioned this, but you do have a newsletter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I send out a weekly email. I'm learning just like what Monique's teaching me here to hone it in. So I'm trying to really get that compact so it's not so lengthy. But I've been sharing a lot of things for a long time. Just anything I can do to help you feel better in your life, build your confidence, and courage for sure to live your best life. So that's where my heart is helping you be brave so that you can have what you want. Yeah.
Yay! Yeah. Ah. All right. Well, we'll probably have to wrap it up now.
I think that's a wrap.
Okay, that's a wrap. All
Thank you so
right.
much for being here.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Ciao.